Hello everyone, welcome back to another session. This is part 3, grade 6, chapter 4, What Books and Burial Tell Us. So we're going to talk about burial, which means where dead bodies have been put to peace. So we, in the last session, talked about megaliths. I told you how these structures were used to bury the dead bodies. And also these structures, they were not only found on the surface of earth, but they were also found where the dead bodies were buried. They were arranged in a cyst form like this, with a pothole like here, so that the family members could be put to rest in the same section. So it marked as a type of different arrangements, marked as a type of symbol that gave the idea that here we have our family members. And also we observed that these people, the dead, were buried with different stuff that they could use in the future, in the life after death. Some of them, they were buried with amazing, spectacular black and red ware. Some of them had tools where they were buried, especially iron tools, weapons that they could use. Some of them were buried with horse, some of them were buried with ornaments. Some of them were even buried with the conch shells. I'll show you here. Conch shell, ornaments, red and black ware. It suggested to the archaeologists that there have been some status difference that existed in the post-Harappan period, in the Vedic period. It all started because we observed difference in the style of burying and also in the way the dead bodies were put to rest. So definitely it gives us a better idea, view that there might have been some rich people who were buried quite differently as compared to the poor people. Now, as I was talking, we'll cover these sections where some burial spots meant, they were some burial spots meant for certain families. We'll have to go back to the cyst, special burial at Inamgaon, and occupations at Inamgaon. So let me tell you this Inamgaon. It was discovered in the early recent past. It's an early village. The one that's related to post-Harappa time period, and it's there in Maharashtra. We find a lot of agrarian activities here. Archaeologists have found it to be located along the bank of Gond River. I'll show you where do we have this Gond River. And more about this location we'll talk about and learn. So let's get started. Were some burial spots meant for certain families? For that, we'll have to go back to this picture. Now, as I told you, megaliths had been observed on the surface and beneath the surface of earth. Generally, they were related to the burial of the people. So they used to use these megaliths, where a lot of skeletals have been observed, to indicate that people belonging to the same family, they are buried at the same place. It might not be important that they're buried at the same time, so that is why to bury the bodies later, which were brought to the grave, they used to mark this section that is called potholes. So you see these stone circles and the boulders that were placed on the surface. This all served as sign spot or sign posts, so that it becomes easy for the people of the family to locate, to return to the position where others have been put to rest. So that was something special that we find the archaeologists have found. So this arrangement is called the cyst, and they used to leave these potholes, different signposts, so that to locate this, it became easy for the family members. Now we are going to talk of a special burial at Imangaon. I'll show you on the map where exactly this place is. If you see this carefully, you'll find this Bima River right here. This Bima River, this is a tributary to River Krishna, already you can see. And it further has a tributary that is called Gond River. So imagine this, this and this. So this is Gond River, this is Bima River. So this area that I'm going to talk of, I'm going to take you back around 3600 to 2700 years ago. Here, the people, they were buried in this section. The adults were laid with their head towards the north, this way. There was a peculiar pattern in which the people were put to rest. Generally, their head, it was in the direction of north. And most of the time, we find they were buried with a lot of vessels that carried food, water with them. And sometimes these people, they were buried right inside the house. If you've got a big house with a courtyard, so generally they used to mark a section where they used to bury the people. So the archaeologists, they found a man in this jar, 4-legged clay jar. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a jar, let's say, right? Though it doesn't seem like, but imagine it to be a jar. So one of the archaeologists, he found a man was buried in this large, huge jar. Not that his body was chopped, but he was easily put into it. And this jar was found in the courtyard of a 5-roomed house. There might have been a large house, and it was right in the center of the settlement. So there people live. So there was this house, 5-roomed house. And right here, this person was put to rest. And his body, definitely, it would have been very difficult to fit his body in here. So it was in crisscrossed pattern. His legs were like this. In this pattern, he was put. So let's talk about the occupation of people living here. As I told you, this is a post-Harappan agrarian village. That means agriculture was practiced here. Being an agrarian village, archaeologists have found the evidence of wheat, seeds of barley, rice, peas, pulses, millets, or sesame seeds. And also, they found the animal bones here, which had a lot of cut marks on it. So let's say this is a bone of the animal. So this animal bone had a lot of cut marks on it. Probably they might have used different animals as a source of food. There is also evidence of cattle found here. You find buffalo, goat, sheep, dog, horse, pig, spotted deer, mongoose. There were a lot of birds found here. So you get to know about them from their bones. And there's also evidence of people eating bear. Yes, bear that we happen to eat nowadays. People were quite health conscious. They used to eat amla, jamun, dates, a lot of berries. Like back then, the people started to eat and have a lot of berries in their diet, which is quite good. So this gives us the evidence of occupation the people were involved in back then. So I hope you guys liked today's session. We're done with this chapter. In case you want me to make more videos, please subscribe, comment below, and don't forget to like. Thank you very much. Till we meet next, take care.